night. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, today is a beautiful day here in Talladega, Alabama, as we are about to take witness to the Venom Driver Appreciation 165 down here at Talladega, Alabama Superspeedway. The drivers are now getting ready to go and set for the action as we get set sailing for today's action showcase of the Venom Truck Series. Hi everyone, I am Christian, the Crusader Shriver. No, I'm not dead. No, I'm not gone yet, if you couldn't tell. But hey, we're here for a show. We're here for a treat. And I believe these Venom Truck Series drivers are ready to give it to you. So 65 laps on the counter. Let's take a look at our starting lineup for today's action line on the show. On the pole, he pilots the number 17. It will be Garrett Rainey is outside. In the Big 12, Jeremy McKinnon. Airboat number 2 is Ryan Dyer. The 15 is outside. Will be the 09. That is Kevin Sargent. And row number 3, it is Andy Palicki. And the 32 is outside. Will be the 26. That is Eric Breeding. Row number 4 is Paul Sargent. The 49 is outside. Is the 8, Cole Maxwell. Row number 5 is going to be Michael Dean. The 73 is outside. It is the Big 50, Corey Rutherford. Row number 6 is Jeff Langston, and the 21's outside. The Big 55, Paul Ellison. Row number 7 is going to be Brandon Veers, and the 13 is outside. The 53, it is Kyle Zittel. Row number 8 is John Gay, and the 2 is outside. The 22, it is Brantley Gainey. Row number 9 is going to be the 76 of Pascal Simard is outside. The Big 99, Will Salamone. Row number 10 is Nathan Reynolds, and the 51's outside. The 36 is Kyle Speeds. And row number 11 is going to be then Jan Van Leer, and the 5 is outside. Bobby Anderson in the 1. Our final starters in this one, row number 12, will be Chad Stearns, in the 05 is outside. It is Michael Krall in the 11. And row number 13 is Ronnie Roberts. The 28 is outside. The 35, Shane Winslow finally in the shotgun of the field. The 18 is piloted by Kyle Tumig. Well, race fans, we are now set to go here on the biggest stage of them all, here on one of the toughest tracks to tame and the toughest tracks to master. Welcome to Talladega, Alabama County, and welcome to Talladega Super Speedway. It's time to bring out the heavy hitters. It's time to bring out the toughest of drivers. Let the action commence. Let the action continue on. The season draws near to its end, and the race is now just about to begin at Talladega. And just getting this out of the way right now. Yes, you're probably hearing my voice a little distorted. Just to get this out of the way and everyone is aware, I did have a little bit of a mix-up in a case of the old bad virus that's been flying around. So Yes, I'm not 100%, nor is my voice, but I'm still getting this call in, and we got quite a few calls still this week to go, so. But we will be returning home eventually in due time, but for now, it's time to return to what we do best, 70 laps to the distance. Let the action commence. It's go time for the Venom Truck Series. "70 laps to the distance." We'll fire them off for the start of this one. No surprise here. The top runners, Garrett, Rainey, and Ryan Dye, already making their mark. As you see, the 32 packing it right behind it with Andy Pilecki. The field works their way around the first set of corners. So far, so good. See this a lot, where a lot of drivers just kind of get a little bit under command, under control, just kind of let them do their own thing, not worry too much about what the other is up to. The biggest thing about plate racing has always been plate is draft, draft, and draft. You can get the bumper at someone eventually, you can use it for later on, but the biggest thing again is going to be testing the waters and seeing who can get the better of the drivers. And one thing plate tracks are extremely well known for as well is to kind of bring out the underdog story, kind of the driver you usually don't see up in that top half, up in that front. Because really, this track is more designed for the test of patience, the test of strength, the test of will, to find the right time, to find the right line, and use it against the other. It is an extremely difficult, intense scenario. Only the best have been able to master and been able to figure out. You're getting a good look at some of that right now here from our drivers as we continue to work their way around the track. The onboard camera here right now is with our boy Rodney Robertson at 28, although I think honestly he may be having some glitch graphic gremlins going on down there in his truck, so we'll leave him be as we go now on to Langston in the 21. See again just how quick some of these guys will get to each other's bumpers, how quick some of them will end up pushing their limits and pushing themselves up as fast as they can and as quickly as they can, but the same deal is they cannot end up working around the other. Jeff Langston very well aware of that, and that Rotel at 21 as the icy 73 of the Dean of drivers, Michael Dean, making a little bit of a comeback round here down on the bottom lane. Going to be interesting to see later on how much pushing and shoving we see. As a lot of guys right now are mainly just shy drafting and bump drafting off one another. But when you see the bump draft start to come into effect, which is just pushing and shoving and hoping for the best, that's when it gets really interesting. Again, if you do hear us take some breaks here on the broadcast call, that's not us trying to get a little bit lazy. We're trying to catch our breath a little bit, plus let the drivers just kind of run their race. One thing I will say is that darn little disease that came out in 2019, that is no joke. That is absolutely no joke. I did not push that on anybody, I'll tell you that. 20 now, Gainey bringing it back. 22, of Gainey right now looking to gain some ground back on here. Brantley Gainey, remember, he qualified a pretty decent little spot in the mid-pack, but didn't quite set himself up, I think, really where he wanted to. I think he was more focused on trying to get the better of the rest of the field later on. Good news is with these trucks, though, is that because they can cut slice through the air a little bit better than maybe some of the Cup cars can, that 550 horsepower package actually comes in quite handy here with the bump draft and the force draft. However, just because they're good at drafting doesn't mean they can't be a little unstable sometimes. You're going to see a lot of guys having to try to find a workaround, trying to find a way to make use of all lanes on this track. Again, you can get 3 and 4 wide relatively easily. 3 wide has been generally the notion and consensus that Talladega brings the best of. However, a 4 wide is extremely difficult to master on any of the tracks for just a couple of reasons. The biggest one, in my opinion, is going to be just timing and driver etiquette. Can you trust the other not to get a little wobbly or get a little scared being in that pack or being in the middle? It's easy to be up top side or on the bottom lane having to follow a line. It's not so easy when you're stuck right in the middle between two other drivers or even three drivers at times. Some of the best, though, that have ever come forth here and ever tasted the waters here at Alabama. Can't go without saying, but of course the Alabama gang, Donnie, Bobby, Allison, Red Farmer, Red Byron himself, the old Earnhardts, Dale Earnhardt Sr., Dale Jr., even some of the other greats that have nailed the plate tracks, including 7 Daytona 500s of the Richard Pettys. There's a lot of names to that resume and a lot of names to that work that you can just continuously knock down off the list and just continuously look through these races and look through these days and just know how fast everybody was and how good they were time and time again. Even some of the lesser known names like Bobby Isaac, who set career fast, all-time fast records until the great Bill Elliott's came around. There are so many names to those resumes and so many names to the genre of racing that it just completely overshadows and just completely intensifies everything we know in the motorsport world, especially of the NASCAR nature. So far right now, currently they are looking to exit and introduce ourselves to the choo-choo Daytona Talladega draft train right now on the bottom half. As you see about 10 or 12 of them just going right to the bottom lane. The Venom Truck Series now seem to be wanting to get in the line and get into a formation. They don't want to go a little too crazy, a little too wild right now. They want to stay under control. Those that stay to the bottom, though, will have to also resort to the fact they're going to have to play follow the leader. Yet those that go to the outside then will try to see if maybe they can build up a little bit of speed, build up a little bit of power. Get a run on some of these guys up to that top half and make the jump. This is interesting, though, because when you think about it, this really shows you where everybody's driver's mindset is and where everybody is thinking on the field. But when they get later into the stage, that's when you really got to make a choice. Do you go for broke and take it up to the top side, or do you stay in cahoots and in contention where you're already at and hope for the best? That is really one of the biggest questions that they themselves have to answer throughout this race. Go on board here with the Big 99. This is Will Salamone. Will Salamone right now currently piloting it down on the back straightaway, the back half, trying to stick right in the corners, keep his momentum alive and pressure up. Looking for opposition. We are 1/7 of the way there here at Talladega. The Venom Driver Appreciation 165 right now, currently in hot swing and hot pursuit. Those tuning in as well right now, first off, thank you so much. And second off, if you have not been following our show and our coverage as of late, I will remind you all that no, this is not our usual setup. Unfortunately, I'm still on vacation, and I'm still, well, I guess I can't really say vacation anymore. That was over a while, so now I'm kind of on lockdown at the moment. Until I may be able to return home, so it will be in due time. I promise you guys, I'm not gone, I'm not out of the woods yet, but thankfully, what I was dealing with just kind of cleared out my body, my senses, and now I'm almost all ready to go. So it will be nice to kind of return home this next week. So I'll be sure missing you guys back at home. But for now, hopefully these broadcasts can give you guys a little bit of semblance that we're still kicking, we're still moving, and we love to see you guys. So comment down below and let us know you are here, you are watching with us as we continue the coverage of the Venom Truck Series, Venom Appreciation 165 in Talladega. Down the back half right now, currently we are watching on as currently we have a new leader lined up on the Raptors right now. Jeremy McKinnon had battled for the lead a little bit there. And the old Akuma Savage Arms machine, number 12, but unfortunately the big old F-150 was not able to make a round on that big 3280 Blicky in the 32 machine. Now, we talk a lot about how Chevy has dominated in the Cup Series world, but there's one thing we also seem to forget, is that the Fords on the Talladegas, on the Daytonas, and even at Atlanta Motor Speedway, now with the Super Speedway package, those tracks have been very much dominated and taken control by the likes of the Fords. And I think a lot of that kind of had to do with the fact that you saw Bill Elliott running those big old Fords back in the 1980s and inwards to the 90s and just absolutely take full control of races like this and take control of a battle like that he's got going on. That was always one of the biggest glaring issues, was how could you take down the Fords because of how aerodynamic those cars were. Even the Allison boys had drove them. Davey Allison and Bobby Allison have been racing with those as well, and they dominated here at Talladega. They dominated at Daytonas. They were just so aerodynamically dependent and set that they could literally just breeze through the air like it was part of the air. All the force and all the gravity they can just kind of wing through. It's absolutely tremendous, and that's what you're getting right now. A little bit of two. It's just those Fords taking control of this race again. But cannot deny that the Toyotas and the Chevys are in this mix-up still. There is still some room for the Chevys and Toyotas to come back. They have a lot of time they need to figure out and get to it ASAP. The 11 right now, Michael Crawl currently staying right up on the top side here. Looks like he's looking for some help. He wants the 21 of Jeff Langston to come up and help him out and give him some push, give him some shove, give him some love. But behind him in the big gear wrench machine as well, right there in the mix. He's not far off of trying to get something going too. Currently being wheeled by the number 28, that's Rodney Roberts. He's got the big bad Chevrolet engine kicking, and he's got a big bad amount of speed cooking up, working some run though, looking to try to draft and give a little bit of run off. Laps of 70 now completed. We'll go down to the blimp, to our high cam here. This is the high center cam. Look at our crowd on hand. Beautiful facility and beautiful limelight here. Great to see everybody tuned into this one here, not just on PT Race TV, but also in the stands here at Talladega Speedway. What a wonderful crowd and wonderful show we have been able to put on, and the Venom Truck Series currently still putting into hot pursuit of this one. Now, one thing we can't say, though, that this weekend we've got coming up, of course, the PTM Racing Truck Series have returned to the show. The Pedal to Metal Racing League guys and gals are back, and we have been told there is a whole host of drivers and a lineup you cannot miss. And, of course, even Pushing Let's Racing League will make their triumphant return next Monday here on the show. And by then, we should be, I repeat, should be back to normal by then, hopefully. That's what I'm hoping for, anyway. Never can be too sure, though. Michael Crawl, the 11 right now, currently popping up on the outside line. Got the 21 of Langston working with him. Ryan Dye, the 15, the Slim Jim. Looking to pull out a little bit of that macho man instincts. Because he's feeling it. Dye's been kind of one of those guys you just got to watch out for, because he can literally just take this race and flip it on its head, and there's times he gets thrown to the wolves and ends up finding himself on the receiving end of a race just a matter of inches away from taking to victory lane. He's looking to not to try to get that done today. One thing though that we've always said here, you can never be too sure with these kind of races. You've got to watch out for the long race, the long haul. But when it comes time for the last 10 or so laps, that's all bets are off. It's then starting to move to the field and then starting to push and shove. Everybody right now, though, being very, very cautious. They don't want to do too many crazy things here. It looks like maybe they're more focused on overall speed, contention, as well as what they're into and what they want to do. The 35 Shane Winslow here kind of making that work here in the good beer. Ford F-150 35. No, I did not stutter, and no, I did not say that wrong. That is the actual, hold on a minute. Producers, I told you to get a camera down there on that suspension, please. Thank you. No, that is actually good beer. That's not Goodyear. I did not stutter. He's running Goodyears on the tires, but he's running the Goodyear scheme on the on that truck itself. So that is just a little bit of a kind of an idea of how these drivers are and how their mindsets is. Absolutely wonderful guys, though, to say the least. Definitely have a lot of love for them. Laps now remain here at Talladega as the field continues to move their way to the change. Everybody looking pretty solid so far. No one's been able to give an inch, but at the same time, no one's really given too much out except for the movement now parking on the back straightaway. We have movement, we have life. Look at this coming to the front. Watch out for Ronnie Roberts. The big 28's got some help. And that big 35 machine is now pushing and shoving his way in with the pack. But again, you gotta wonder, they also got pit road to worry about and their pit stops themselves. I predict that you'll see them start to kind of move in towards in about 8 or 9 laps or so from now. Those that try to last out will go for the halfway marker, which is usually the best thing to do, but again, it is so difficult to get set right, set done just on time. We've seen it here before. Everybody looking solid still through the field right now. Garrett Rainey, 17. Remember, he was your fastest qualifier here in the 17 Golden Eagle machine. Remember that he has had many great races to this season. Has come away with a couple wins in the officials and a win or two in the league itself. Looking though, trying to bolster it up, make another round at it. Kulicki right now staying towards the bottom. He's going to continue to work off the draft of the Akuma number 12 Savage Arms of Jeremy McKinnon. As we've always said on the play tracks, if you're the leader, you don't want to rock the boat. You just want to keep it nice and set, and make sure you set a course for victory lane. That is what we've always said. The only time you want to start really getting crazy with it is when you got to throw a block, you got to throw a move to try to get everybody else out of the mess. But I don't think, honestly, with this kind of racing, I don't think you're going to see a lot of guys trying to block too much, or really trying to make anything too crazy here. If anything, I would presume the best thing to do is really just kind of stay out of trouble. cards play your way, the cards play your way. I've had it happen plenty of times where it took me almost like 100 attempts at Daytona and Talladega just to even get one win at either of them. It's not an easy task to do, but Lady Luck can deal you a bad hand here at Talladega and Daytona. And if you don't believe me, I mean, just look at Dale Earnhardt Sr. 20 years it took him to finally get that Daytona 500. That doesn't scream at you of Lady Luck dealing a bad hand at someone for so long. I don't know what does. It can easily happen here as we get back to our little choo-choo Talladega Daytona draft train, boys. We got a big one too lined up here. Look at this draft train lined up and on full course. Now the train is in route. Got them boxed up, stocked up, and set on for a full railroad ride down across Talladega. Whoa, hold on though. We got drivers heading for pit road here. It looks like we might have lost a few in the bunch. We've got problems down there. Caution is out on the 489 of Paul Sargent and them unfortunately getting into a bit of a collective mess there as the caution does fly. A big wreck there for the 489 machine. I think they were heading for pit road and that pit stop was not what I think anybody had in mind there. Take a look at the P2 Instant replay here on our chopper cam. Here's another look at it. Looks like they came around here off the corner number 4, and this is where they're heading for pit road. Paul Sargent was trying to line up, and look at this. He was trying to get right there with the 09. That being driven by Sargent. Kevin Sargent, though, unfortunately, getting kind of mixed up. 51. That was Nathan Reynolds. He got slammed in there as well. Nowhere to go, and on away she went. Nathan Reynolds probably had no idea what the heck was going on until literally it was too little too late here. As we've seen so many times before. Another look at it. And the whole field right now, you can see this is where everyone was going from pit road, and there you see the collision course, and it's like Pascal Saint-Martin gave the old 51 something. Garrett Rainey there, looks like he actually lost control there too. Wow. Just a wild circumstance there for our drivers as pit road opens and closes up, so the field now has to work their way around the track and around the circuit here. We'll have to see if that comes into play and comes into a factor here as they now work their way back up to the front of the pack here. The field is ready to go right back to the green flag here. Let's get down there real quick. Live view and live cam here from our caution flag back to the green flag. We're back out and running. A good start out of the gates and now down to turn number 2. The big 21, Jeff Langston will work his way around the back straightaway here. Everybody else kind of moving through the field. It's going to be interesting to see here now how everyone goes from that pit stop here. I said earlier that you see him probably going about lap 27, 28. Well, I guess I was a little bit off by that. They're in lap number 23 and 4 before they end up getting into a little bit of a collision course there. Eric Reed, the big 26 here, you're going to see him finally start to really kick up the pace, kick up the momentum here. It looks like he's looking to try to make up for all the lost ground of time he had back on previous days, previous races here. found himself in a few bad areas, a few bad spots here previously, but I think this is the time for him to really get it dialed up. Now to the halfway point here, about 6 laps left to go before we get to that mark. Cole Maxwell in the number 8 looked like he may be making a bit of a comeback here. Looks like he's got some drive off into the sunset, looking for some momentum, looking for some speed. Well, moving to the field right now, currently some heavy hitters coming back through right now. Currently, we're seeing the 13 years making a little bit of a charge up to the strength, up to the track. Looks like maybe he might have something here for him. Goes right in the middle here of that 3-wide loop just for a second with Michael Crawl in the 11. Does have some damage there on the right rear corner panel. Fender there cooked up a little bit. We'll see if that does affect the speed and the aerodynamics late into the race. Remember, trying to get that race lead, you need all that truck to stay clean as can be and get all the power you can get out of it. It's not easy to hang on. It's not easy to deal with, especially circumstances like this. The big Golden Eagle 17 Garrett Rainey once again here making his way through the pack, through the field. Razor, number 53 here, that of course being the man that won the very first race of this season at Daytona. Kyle Zittel currently looking to possibly park himself into victory lane again. And on American Lane Track of all things, it would be no surprise to me. Let's go on board here, Gold Zittel. Great power, great speed coming through the field, coming through the track right now. Everybody's still looking for an opening and looking for some timing to go through this field. Now a little bit of a lead change off here. We got a new leader here. Rodney Roberts, the 28, takes the lead. Now Jeff Langston will move right up with them in the field. Rodney Roberts right now looking pretty solid throughout this day, throughout this race so far. I'm pretty surprised that he's been able to kind of keep pace and keep distance here with some of the heavy hitters that kind of move their way to the field. Corey Rutherford in the 50 also deciding to steal that old police truck again and decided to duct tape the thing a little bit. I still, for the life of me, cannot understand why that boy took that truck and decided to turn it into a race truck. I mean, whatever floats his boat works for me, but I mean, I still do not fully understand it. Marking him down around the track here right now. Roberts has some company there with Langston kind of moving his way in. Corey Rutherford though and Kyle Dillon now marching back into position and contention. Could be anybody's guess here who takes the better of the two and who will be able to take that one from the other. Continues to work their way around the track and work their way around on the speed here. We continue to go through. Going on board here a little bit. We are with Brandon Beers. It looks like a little bit of troubles there from pit road. Looks like the Dean of Drivers, Michael Dean, going into the SETI 3 earlier than I think he was hoping for. Jan Van Leer joins him in that pack and in that bunch. We'll have to see if that kind of works out in his favor, works out okay for him, but I don't know. Very tall order to be working with, in my opinion. Taking it down the onboard camera. I think it's time we take a look at one of those Air Jordan machines again. The big 05. Chad Stearns on the run here. Let's go on board with him. march and pound to the beat of their own tune. Everyone working so critically and so effortlessly through these traces, through the runs. Ronnie Roberts, so still your race leader. Corey Rutherford up on the top side, trying to get him. Now the 50 moving up top side. There he goes down towards the bottom, and Rutherford for the first time today has now secured the lead for good. Rodney Roberts going to have to deal with him up ahead now. And Kyle Zettel getting a huge push there up on the outside now. He's getting a lot of help from McKinnon there in the 12. Back and forth affair, back and forth affair. Everybody giving it their own. Rutherford now kind of sent back to the bottom lane here. Looks like some guys moving their way to the chains. And the 12 McKinnon there looked like he was getting tired of waiting around as well. Zettel now gains the lead for the first time today. Just like he did at Daytona, takes full control of this one. But behind him now, even Winslow getting kind of shuffled into the field here after that little 3 wide goes on the top side. When you see drivers going to the bottom of the yellow line having to be passed up, that means you got a golden opportunity to strike while the iron's hot. They knew it, so they went for it. Interesting dilemma now being parked up on the driver's half. You can very well take this one in. You can take this one off the shelf here. This is a very big drive right now they're facing up against. Coming out from the back half here, up to the top side. Hang on just a minute. Look up there. Look out from the heavens above. Here comes Bobby Anderson, the big one Toyota Tundra. He's making everyone look like a fool. The Joker plays the joke on all of them. And with some help, too, behind him. Top side, 3 wide salute. The 36 here is giving him a run and a half up there, and he's helping it with everything he's got. But it's Rodney Roberts now with a charge up to the front here. Look at this. Back and forth, back and forth. Nobody getting the advantage here. And now the 35 with a tandem draft up with the 20 and Rodney Roberts. Kyle Speed's the big 36. No surprise here. I've seen him do this plenty of times before. He is known as the Speed Demon, as we've come to know him from the first time we ever witnessed and viewed him in the NASCAR Outlaw Association Racing League. But Rodney Roberts once again regaining the lead with Shane Winslow right behind him. Fields now parking him into pit road here. Garrett Rainey coming right behind him though. Remember Rainey earlier on from pit road had troubles getting in and out due to the unfortunate circumstances with the caution popping where he didn't need it to. And now this time with a tandem pack pushing him up to the front. The 17 has got an opportunity to take the lead. Into the middle now toward the top. He's got the run. He's got it all. The leaders are now going to pit road. We have a new leader. And it's the big 17 straight to the line. He will have the lead with 23 laps remaining. Absolutely impressive work. Timing, commitment, and dedication. This is what it takes to become a champion. This is what it takes to become a hard racer. Way 2 laps left to go now. Now the usual favorites coming through to make their mark as well. Looks like we got quite a few guys and gals just kind of moving their way to the chain. And now pit road opens up for these heavy duty guys right now coming through. We've got a whole host of them entering in. Rainey, Breeding, Spees. The 2 of Jake John K. The 15 of Ryan Dye. The 13 of Brandon Veers. All of them have headed to pit road. And now the packs will have their way to get to the front again. Pretty simple what you're supposed to do here. Forget about trying to go in to pit road and get tires. Just get the fuel and get out of there so you have a chance. They're out of pit road. Now they have their work and their handiwork filled for them. Cole Maxwell, the 8, is currently the man that's set on top. He's got everybody working with him. The field comes out though, and Rainey looking to try to hold the lead off. Maxwell to the bottom of the yellow. Oh, I don't know if that's an illegal move or if that's going to count towards anything, but that's a big risk he's taking here. I don't think he's going to get away with it. He's staying to the bottom. No pass there. He's going to get out of trouble there. 3 wide. Sloan Rainey has got the lead again. Never lost it. Put it on the top side with Michael Dean, the Dean of drivers right now looking to school him off of the corners under the dry oval. Now to the front straightaway. John K. pilots behind the 17. This is absolutely incredible. The last 20 laps looks like this is where the gloves come off, and this is where everyone just doesn't give a hoot no more. They are 3 wide saluted down the back straightaway. No one's giving it an inch. No one's giving any runoff. Zittel now, power him up to the outside. He's got a run. He's got help, and he's looking to use it. He needs all the help he can get. Tony Westcott saying stepped on his Oscar Mayer on that one. Yeah, I'd say so. But nevertheless, with now 19 left to go, Westcott, I think we're in for a little bit of a showing here, my friend, because we got a lot of heavy hitters still going through and looking for the speed, looking for the opposition. Michael Dean has yet to been able to park it into victory lane, but this insert coin Toyota Tundra looks like he wants to change that now. The 17 of Garrett Rainey right now holding the bottom off as the Fago 2. John Kay tries to work with him. Michael Kroll in the 11 doing everything he can to try to make the ground up, to make the run and the charge useful. Talk about your Cinderella stories and you talk about your wild races. I think we may be getting one of them here. This is going to be a very tall order, though, to hold on to that line and hold on to that spot. Usually the bottom lanes where you can see a lot of guys really edge, keeping the distance, but the middle and the outside has got a lot of speed to it, but you need a little bit of that extra oomph to get it. That is what they're hoping for right now. Trouble though on the front straightaway, big trouble. We've got a huge wreck ensuing. Field wrecking out. Off a turn on the front straightaway, caution flies, and a whole host of guys completely taken out of here. Oh my word, we now have completely flipped this race on its head. Westcott, I'll get to your comment in a minute about that, but let's take a look at the PTM instant replay and look at this one real quick. This is a wild, wild little scenario there that just popped right up on these guys, and they know it too. They've got to be careful. This is where things get dangerous. Watch the 11 here as you see him pushing the 73 closer and closer to the edge, but Rainey barely side taps the 11 in the field, just trying to escape, trying to evade trouble. Only 4 drivers, about 5 actually, got into that. Rainey probably got the worst of it. Probably had no idea what the heck was going on till it was too little too late, unfortunately. And then just finds himself literally wrecking himself out in that mess up and that mix here. See right there, once he got him there, just got a little piece of him, and then everywhere else just trying to evade and conquer and get out of there while the pace car comes out. The chaoticness just never ends here on PT Racing TV, I tell you. But nevertheless, the field marches their way around off of turn number 4, this time on by. We're getting ready to get back to it. And Westcott, to answer your question, says it sounds like I need coffee. No, I don't need coffee. I just need to get over this crud I got, unfortunately. COVID, first time in 2 years I've had COVID-19, and actually I got it, so. And I was on vacation of all things, what do you know? So. No, but don't worry, I'll be fine. I'm just now getting over it, so been about 5 days in, so I think we're about good to go. Speaking of good to go, with about 14 to go, it's time to get back to it. Green flag is out. We're now down to the final laps here. This is going to be a who's who of drivers just trying to find the line, trying to find their way. The A73 of Michael Dean going for it. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you. Through the pack right now, the 32 of Andy Blicky now getting another chance here at some redemption. Chad Stearns, 0-5, Pikes on the outside. He is going to be the one that leads the top half. Ryan Dye, the big 15, pucking it right behind him. Looking for an opening, looking for a shot in the arm. Every driver for themselves here. Corey Rutherford, the 50 now up on the outside, making a run for it in the 3 wide tanded speed bows. About that can take only one to victory lane. When we get to those final 10 laps, I guarantee you, you're going to see some extremely aggressive moves from the leaders to the runners. Everybody going for it now. It looks like actually only about 12 to go. 3 wide salute, tanded off. No one giving an inch, and everybody making some serious efforts to get to the front. I honestly think with this kind of race, this kind of truck, you only get about 5 laps before you unfortunately have ran out of time if you're a little bit too far in that pack. I've seen drivers literally make a charge though with 1 lap to go, but we're not going to get any air trouble on the back stretch. The 8 of Cole Maxwell with a huge spin and crash here, and the yellow flies again. And the deal goes for free.com. Number 8, Silverado, unfortunately, goes for a wild ride again on the back half. Thankfully, doesn't seem too distraught. It doesn't seem too out of it. So I think he'll be okay to return to the race here. But unfortunately, did take a good little knocker there to the wall protection. One more look at it. Here is the PTMS replay. You see the truck lifts up, and once he lifted up too much, got into the 21 there of Jeff Langston. Slammed the entire right side of that truck. The rear end kicks out. And unfortunately, just another huge hit there for the number 8 team. That's going to definitely sour the grapes a little bit here with him and his team, I feel. One last look at it. Here is the onboard camera. You can see just right here, once he drifted up, game over. Again, though, he does have room. He does have time. He's not out of this yet. The field will now have to re-center off and get back into contingent. We're getting closer and closer to a little green-white checkered finales here. And I don't think that's exactly what the drivers want to deal with. I don't think that's what they want to see in this case. I think they want to get this race in through a clean sweep. But they will have 8 laps to go coming to the restart. Restart zone, lines them off, sends them on their way. Green is out. Here we go again. On the bottom, Chad Stearns, the 0-5. Remember, he did not have a good qualifying lap here, but he is making up for it in the actual race itself. He's got the lead. Driving the old Air Jordan. Trying to do it again. He won at Richmond. He's looking to get one here at Talladega. He's got the 55 Paul Ellison right on his nose, on his tail though. Ellison trying to get the red diamond 55 Tundra, moving up a little bit, while Ryan Dye in the Slim Jim 15 hangs in the balance. The 53 here, Kyle Zittel also hanging back, looking for the openings. He did it at Daytona. He's looking to do it here at Talladega. Up on the berm, 3 wide, salute. Hard execution, hard driving off. Everybody looking for the opening, everybody looking for the opportunity with 7 to go. Coming now, crossovers and drivers looking for positions. The fastest line is the fastest route wherever you go, but you also got to watch out for the intensifying control of the big one. The big one is in dire need here if they're not careful. Lady Luck trying to avoid that, not looking to give them that problem yet. Ellison now, look at him on the top side, taking the middle lane, striking the lead. Chad Stearns moving back towards the bottom half. The 05 of Stearns trying to hang in there with him. The 53 of Zettel mixing it up as the Dean of drivers looking to keep up the pace. Whoa, look out though, the 2, John K. off of turn 2. We've got a pile up and a big wreck ensue. Oh, and a big collision course is the 5 of Jan Van Leer and the 11 of Michael Krall getting into that mix-up with the 2 of John K. getting crossed up on out of turn number 2. My word. And John K. looks like his day is all but done. I think he may have received the meatball flag, is what's been known. And unfortunately, Fago 2's day comes to a swift end. Pushed hard on that 53, backs off. Rodney Roberts did not. See Bobby Anderson there getting clipped. I think that might have been the 33 there. Excuse me, the 36. Kyle, no, it wasn't Kyle Speed. Excuse me. I think that might have been. I don't have a number on that one. I think it might have been the 09 actually. Now that I think about it, but yeah, that was definitely a heartbreaker there. Unfortunately, I can't confirm that it was 51 there. That was Nathan Reynolds. Got the initial impact. The 18 Kyle Dumig was the guy we were trying to figure out the name of there. And now everything has come to this. It is going to be a green-white checkered finish here. This is not what the drivers had hoped for. This is not what they wanted, because they wanted to go to the end in a full-on race-it-out scenario. But this is going to be pretty much do-or-die time. Take it or leave it, folks. It's go for broke, go for big. You're going to see Michael D, the D of drivers, on the front half. Paul Ellison will be on the outside of him. Chad Stearns right in the third. Zittel on the fourth slot. Palicki and Dye will mix it up in the third row. Green back out. The last golden opportunity to make it or break it here. 2 to go. Dean on the bottom. Ellison on the top. Everybody looking for the shoot. Stearns getting a big push here. Getting a good drive off. Everybody moving up the chains. They are crisscrossing it up a bit. Stearns takes the lead with Ellison just barely nudging him out there off of the back straightaway. The 05 now looking for the big push and another big slide up. Palicki gets in there with them. Everybody looking for a huge run off here. They are still 3 wide, straight to the line as we come to the white flag on the front straightaway. Andy Palicki now. Oh, there goes D. There goes Stearns. Stearns' day is over, and so is Dean's. The Dean and driver couldn't keep it to it. Palicki with the lead. Ellison trying to get back up there to it. Zettel looking for his opening, looking for a slingshot. He can't get to the outside though. He's got company. Oh, it's big and company at 35. Good beer sends the 13 into the wall. Ellison in the middle. Ellison needs one last big push there from the 53 of Zettel, but will he even get it? McKinnon looking for an opening, trying to slingshot him. They blocks the bottom. Palicki is driving. Oh, he's got McKinnon in the bottom lane. The inside zone. Straight to the finish. It's going to be a dead drive to the finish line. And Jeremy McKinnon at long last will finally end his curse and bring it into victory lane. What a race. Holy smokes! Many races later, and a Savage Arms number 12 Okuma machine finally breaks free. So many heartbreaking losses, so many missed opportunities, and so much of Lady Luck giving him a bad hand finally ends with a Savage Arms number 12 Ford F-150 in victory lane. McKinnon wins it. And how long has it been that we said that Talladega and Daytona is an equalizer? And McKinnon this time finally equalizes it into victory lane. Time for a little PTM winning moments here. It's time for McKinnon to send it on its way. Honestly, if I was him, I'd burn the heck out of that fuel and make sure that thing don't drive no more. What a race for Jeremy McKinnon and a huge win for him and his team. Race fans, there's only but one thing left to do. My boys are down there to help me out with my voice, so I'll let them do the talking from here. Boys, take it away.
Whenever you are ready, sir.
Alright guys, we're here with the top three from the truck race here at Talladega Super Speedway Venom Truck Series League, and we'll start with the third place finisher, Mr. Ryan Dye. Ryan, how happy are you with the third place finish?
I was terrified of this race when I woke up this morning, as I am with every super speedway race, and I kind of changed my strategy. I chose not to stick in the back this time, and it worked. I missed Rex narrowly, and I think the only time I got hit is when Jeff got loose under caution on the banking. So P3, I'm happy. I feel pretty secure that we might win a championship in a couple weeks, and I think it's easily my best super speedway finish in our league's history. So I am over the moon.
Yeah, that's something I was going to say is typically whenever you're coming into this race, much like last year, you had a points lead, you're in a similar situation. Last year you hung out in the back, played it safe. Was this something that you had in mind of doing pre-race, or did you just kind of fly by the seat of your pants here when this race took off?
When I qualified third behind Garrett, my immediate reaction was I'm just gonna push Garrett. We felt pretty good up front, and then the pit stop chaos happened, and Garrett and I both got a black flag for entering a closed pit. And things happen. So then I kind of altered my strategy and decided maybe I'll hang around. And then I thought, well, never mind. I don't want to do that either. So I started to go back to the front. So it's kind of fought by my seat of my pants and hope it went right. And everything tonight went right. And I pushed a deserving driver to a win. So I'll take it.
Yeah, Talladega's one of those things. It's a toss-up. You just have to have a lot of luck on your side, and you definitely had that, and it's proven why you're the points leader as things continue to fall your way, and you make the most of every opportunity that you're given. On that last lap there, what were you thinking? What was going through your mind as you was taking the white flag?
Don't wreck. Get back to the line. I was content with not winning this race and pushing somebody, and it just happened to be Jeremy who found his way in front of my bumper. So that was a strategy. Just finish. That's all I cared about.
Right. And I'll ask a question that Christian always asks. Is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Thank everybody in this league. This was the Venom driver appreciation race. Thank you to everybody. We had 27 out here tonight. That's amazing. Thank you to Garrett for sponsoring that, coming up with that really cool idea. And thank you to all my teammates and this league. I have a blast every single week, and it's truly the highlight of my week.
All right, Ryan, thanks for your time.
Yes,
We'll move on to the second place finisher, Mr. Paul Ellison here. Paul, how many consecutive – I know you've finished in the top two quite a bit here lately. You know how many consecutive top 2 finishes you've had, or maybe out of the last 5, how many you've had? You've been pretty hot.
Well, it was Texas. Then I won again at Myrtle Beach. I don't remember what happened after that. Yeah, I've had a pretty good string.
Yeah, you've been one of the bigger threats to Ryan in his championship run so far this season. Something that I asked him, and I'll ask you as well. Being behind in the points and trying to make a leap, how do you prepare for a race like this?
At the beginning of the race, I just kind of sat there and tried to figure out what I was going to do, and I decided just to play the race out and see how it was going, and qualified about mid-pack, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take it easy, just kind of ride around after the last pit stop, and that was about all I could do. You know, whatever happened after that happens. You know, you don't really know what's going to happen in these.
Right. What kind of pit strategy did you guys come into this race with? Are you going to try to one-stop it or two-stop it, or?
No, we've us and Broke Guy Motorsports usually all work together. Rage and Moose, if they're here, they'll jump in with us. And we always do it at least a two-stopper on super speedways. With past experience, that usually ends up being faster because you can actually push harder and you don't have to worry about saving. And the guys that are saving, we usually end up catching them anyways. So we're splitting it right up into threes, 22, 44, on out.
Right. Well, it seemed to work out for you guys tonight. You found yourself up front, got another top 2 finish. Like I said, been one of the hottest drivers I've seen here in Venom in the past weeks. Keep up the consistency there. Wish you luck for the rest of the season. Is there anybody you would like to thank?
Just got to thank Corey Rutherford for the paint job. CJR Graphics, check him out if you need paint. He killed this one. I love it. I don't know if you can see it on this one. I don't know if I got it loaded right. My dad and stepmom, when they watch these, my buddy Victor always checks these races out, likes to watch them back. I always got to shout him out. I've got to give a big thanks to Zittel. I pushed him to the win at Daytona early this year, and he told me he was staying locked on my bumper, and so I just tried to keep it in front of him. He did the best job he could, and we almost have it, but I also want to say congratulations to Jeremy. He's had a rough year, and for him to get one, he loves plate racing. He loves Talladega. For him to get a win here, it makes me happy. Really wanted to get it because it's my home track, but I'm okay. Finish the second to Jeremy.
Right, yeah, there's no better person to finish second to in this league. Paul, thank you for your time. And move on to Jeremy, who finished position number 1. Jeremy, Paul was saying that you had some bad luck this year, and I, in fact, know firsthand that you've had some awful luck this year, even to the point that you considered taking a break. So it's very nice to see someone like you who's very deserving to end up in victory lane. What was going through your mind there that last lap?
Just pushing Andy, just trying to get the best finish that we could, and then he opened up the bottom lane, and I went underneath of him and got a push from Ryan, I think it was, and it worked out.
Did you approach the situation any differently, knowing that you had a teammate in front of you compared to maybe someone else?
Yes and no. I was trying to take care of him, but I also wanted to win tonight too. So I apologize to Andy. I told him, sorry I had to do it, but I had to do it.
Yeah, I think if the roles were reversed, it would have been the same way. And you done a good job protecting him. He still finished P6 and was pointed straight across the line. You done what you had to get the win. Ryan gave you a very big push. Coming into this race, it's a question I've asked everybody, but how do you prepare for a super speedway like this? Do you have any expectations, given the particular luck that you've had? What were your expectations coming into a race you know that can be this dangerous?
Really, I don't have any expectations. Anything can and will happen, and usually does. So it's all about just trying to watch what's going around you and making sure you don't put yourself in a bad spot.
Right. Well, you definitely made the most of it tonight. Found yourself out front. Is there anybody you would like to thank?
My teammates, Andy, Paul, the Zittel guys that work with us too, Kyle, Corey. I think I'm forgetting a bunch. I just can't think right now. Obviously, my wife allowed me to do this.
I can relate to that one too. I have to thank my wife every time. Jeremy, We appreciate your time. I'm super happy to see you in victory lane. Very deserving, especially after the season that you have had. And we wish you luck for the remainder of the season. Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you again, boys, helping us down there. And race fans, that's all but going to do it for today's action. Thank you so much to everybody that tuned on into the show. Thanks to everyone that comes on out every time. We love you guys, and thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time when the green flag flies high here on Pizza Reese TV.